starts back next year. So it is still hot on the burner, and we're focused hard on that. As we talked about, the demolition bid is awarded to Swift Construction, and they'll be starting soon. The sewer project is still kind of running slow due to the weather, but they're trying to work as many days as they can. We've not had any major problems out there. I've talked with the engineers, Mr. Haley, and his inspections, along with the site inspector out there, and everything seems to be going good at this time. As the mayor said earlier, the tanks are being removed. Most of them has been out today, and that should be completed probably by Thursday at the latest. The architects on the new municipal building met with the department heads last week, and department heads voiced their wants and needs and had some rough drawings and give them some preliminary reports for what space they needed in the building, and they have took that now and they're working on that and should be reporting back to the council in about 40 to 45 days. Other than that, all the departments are running good, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, and a couple things I'd like to speak to. The architects in the design phase on that. We've gotten the 5 local architectural firms and given them all the same information and asked them to come back with some sketches and drawings. And at that time, they'll all give an opportunity to give a presentation to the council. And at that point, we'll look at what they've got and what their ideas are and see which direction we want to hire or want to head. And we'll actually, before this council, enter into an agreement with a local architectural firm to design our city hall. The other thing about the sidewalk by the school, I occasionally will get a heated phone call or a letter requesting when's that going to get done, when's that going to get done. And just to reiterate what the chief said, that the sidewalk will be built. It's just different than building one across your front yard. It takes time to engineer the drainage, to engineer the right-of-ways, to engineer the sidewalk, to move the trees, to dig up the road, to make this happen. But it's happening. So just for the citizens to be aware, it is a priority, and the safety of the children are a priority for us, and the sidewalk will be built. Anybody got anything else? Citizens, anyone want to speak? Bryant, you want to join us up here? It's Bryant Dunaway, guys, our new city attorney. Flip him up.
Is this thing on? I don't know. I'm Doug Maxwell. I live at 201 Lane in Algood.
Real close.
I don't want to seem like I'm making mountains out of molehills, but in my opinion, a mistake was made last week by an officer in this department, police department, when he tased a 20-pound dog. Well, I mean, those tasers are designed to take down a human being that weighs at least 100 pounds. I'm not here to bust your chops, Chief Eldridge, but I'm here to implore you to at least admit that there was a mistake made and apologize and make amends for it. What's irritating to me and a lot of other people is when a police officer does make a mistake, the law enforcement community seems to throw up a facade of infallibility. And you're not infallible people. None of us are. We all make mistakes. The gravest mistake of all is when we do make a mistake, we don't own up to it. And we just cover it up. And that's too much what I see. I know this is just a minor incident, but I've seen other incidents that are far worse than this. And the law enforcement, police officers making far worse mistakes. And instead of owning up to it, it's either justified, excused, or denied. And just swept under the carpet. I think you were mistaken in trying, according to what I read in the Herald Citizen, it seems like you were justifying what Marcus did, by saying it was non-lethal force. But still, there's a dog that's injured. It could have lost its eye, according to the vet. I mean, I'm not here to be harsh or severe with you. I'm just asking that you please own up to this. It was a mistake. I don't think it's a career-ending mistake, but it was a mistake nonetheless, you know? And that's all I want to know. And that's all I'm asking, is that you at least change the taser policy, that you don't, so that nobody under 100 pounds and under the age of 18 gets tased again. You know, and if that doesn't, and if it can't be done through the department, then I'm here to ask the city council to do something about that. You know, so that we don't have any kind of injuries from, you know, like I said, tasers are designed to take people down. Humans. I'm 225. It would take me down. You know, and a taser, I know for a fact, I've seen them advertised on the internet. At least 50,000 volts of electricity is going into a human body when it's a human being, and that little dog had to suffer. I don't know what it looks like. I mean, I'm just going by what the Herald Citizen said, but I was angry. I was outraged when I read your comments, Chief Eldridge. I was very outraged. It seemed like a justification for a mistake that was made. That should not have happened.
Anybody else? Because I want to address this. Number one, there's been no formal complaint filed about the taser incident. A citizen approached Chief Eldridge at the City Hall and complained, and he gave her the forms to file a complaint. And very early on, she mentioned that she was going to have a lawyer to sue the city. So the conversation ends. Okay? Secondly, the whole incident was on audio and videotape. I reviewed the audio and the videotape, and the dog left the house charging the officer. The officer made 6 very quick steps running away from the dog and used less than lethal force on the dog.
Well,
So,
what about pepper spray? I don't understand.
okay, so pepper spray and the taser are on the same force continuum, equal.
What's wrong with using pepper spray?
I'm talking now, Doug. You had a shot, okay? Pepper spray and a taser are on the same level force continuum. So the officer has a choice. Pepper spray, you have to take into account the environment. If you discharge pepper spray, everybody in the area is going to get sprayed. The officer literally had about a second and a half to make a decision how he was going to defend himself. So the fact that the dog weighed 20 pounds or 100 pounds is irrelevant. The dog was charging the officer. He felt a threat. He made a decision, and he followed the policy. This is not about taking up for the officer because he's one of our team. What this is about being fair and honest. And the fact that somebody makes the assumption that the officer is wrong every time this happens really draws me. So if you don't have the full information, and if you haven't reviewed the tape, and if you don't know all the information, I would recommend that you reserve judgment until you have all that. So this is one of these instances that I have personally reviewed. Sounds on its face like it shouldn't have happened. It's an unfortunate event. But the fact is the officer knocked on the door because he had a complaint from a citizen about dogs running loose and about a dog nipping at other citizens' heels and trying to bite them. And he investigated the complaint, and the dog charged him, and he used less than lethal force. The dog is not injured. The dog's got a barb removed from his face. Unfortunate that it happened, but it happened. The dog was not restrained, and the officer asked her to restrain the dog. She invited the officer in the house, and she opened the door. So if you want to see the tapes, come see them. But for an automatic indictment of a police officer is unfair. It's unfair. So, anybody else have anything? I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
I do have one thing. Before everyone leaves, I'm sorry, it's my first time, and I forgot to ask that the citizens who were here sign that they were here. So if you would, please do so. I promise I'll do it at the beginning next time.